Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is another Wednesday, and we are into week 2 of the Mastering Diabetes Summit. And I have a product review for you today. It's PB2. Now, the Mastering Diabetes Summit, I've learned so much in the past 7 days. I have learned so much from this Mastering Diabetes Summit. It's unbelievable, all the things I've learned. Just off the top of my head, one thing I've learned is about omega-3s. I learned that as far as the omega-3, omega-6 ratio, the reason why omega-6 is dangerous, there's a couple of reasons. One, omega-6 can cause insulin resistance. That's one thing that I learned that I didn't know before. And two, the second thing I learned about omega-6s is that if you're eating too much omega-6, it throws the omega-6, omega-3 balance out of whack because you can't eat enough omega-3s to make up for the omega-6s you're eating. So cutting the omega-6 out of the diet completely balances out the omega-3 and omega-6 automatically. Because omega-6 is in everything you eat, vegetables, fruits, everything. So omega-6, so if you don't want to take extra oil in omega-6, and the quickest way to balance it is to stop taking omega-6. But another thing omega-6 does is it inhibits the ability of the body to convert omega-3 fatty acids such as ALA that you find in flaxseed oil into DHA and EPA. And I did not know the body was even able to convert omega-3s into DHA and EPA. I did not know that. But apparently they have new research that when you stop taking in omega-6 oils, when you stop taking in omega-6s, the body automatically converts omega-3s into DHA and EPA, which are the essential fatty acids that you need. So I did not know this, and this was a great revelation for me. Another thing I learned, not only did I knew this before, that fat causes insulin resistance because fat buildup in the body, especially saturated fat. Saturated fat causes this effect doubly much. But fat accumulation in the body causes insulin resistance. But one thing I did not know is that protein can also cause insulin resistance. And a few hours after you've eaten a meal high in protein, your insulin resistance goes down and your sugar shoots up. So protein causes insulin resistance. That's why people who are on high protein diets, who are on keto diets, have very poor insulin control because protein causes insulin resistance. I did not know that. So I'm learning a lot with this Mastering Diabetes Summit. They covered hormones today and how endocrine disruptors such as pesticides can disrupt your hormones. And the other day they covered all sorts of things. There were all sorts of things they covered. Pesticides was one of them. That was one of the big ones because pesticides really create a lot of disruption in the body. Joel Fuhrman discussed the needs for nuts and seeds. He said that vegans, they did a study on Adventists, and the vegan Adventists who ate nuts and seeds lived longer than the vegans who did not eat nuts and seeds. So nuts and seeds are good, but you don't want too much. One serving a day is all you need. And maybe even less than a serving. You could have half a serving, and that would be fine. You want to keep your fat intake to less than 15% of your calories. And there's 9 calories per gram of fat, so you can eat less fat than you can carbohydrates and protein, because carbohydrates and protein have only 4 calories per gram, whereas fat has 9 calories per gram, so you can eat less of it. And you should keep your fat intake as low as possible. I recommend having only 1/2 to 1 serving of nuts or seeds. You don't get both, nuts or seeds per day, and no oil at all, because as I said, it interferes with the body's ability to manufacture EPA and DHA, which the body will do if you're not taking in omega-6s. And omega-6 can cause insulin resistance, so keep your oils low. And oil can contribute to insulin resistance overall because it's fat. It's pure fat. So I learned a lot about oils, and I learned that I've been overusing oils. Using oils in cooking, eating Gardein fishless fillets every day. I've been bad. Yes, I've been eating fake meats. And you've got to cut down the oils. You've just got to cut them out of your diet altogether. So I learned how to saute with water. I looked it up because they were not showing it during this Mastering Diabetes conference, and I wanted to know how to saute with water. So I looked up sauteing with water on YouTube, and a bunch of videos popped up, and some of them were better than others. Some guy filled his pan a quarter full of water, and then he had to dump the water out and lots of nutrients. So that was not good. You only need a little bit of water, maybe 2 tablespoons of water, and add as you need. And you let the vegetables sit for a while. You let them sit for a while so they can get brown. If you don't want to brown your vegetables, if you're real concerned with acrylamide, which is not a big concern for me because acrylamide has been in the human diet for thousands of years. But if you're really concerned about acrylamide, you can add a little bit of molasses to your onions, and they'll look browned, and they'll taste brown, but they won't be browned. So that's another option, molasses. It was a trick I learned from one of the videos. So there's all sorts of things you can do. And now I'm going to review PB2. I have 2 products here. I have PB2 chocolate. I tried this today. And I have Wild Harvest powdered peanut butter. Wild Harvest powdered peanut butter. And I will tell you that I like the taste of the PB2 chocolate better than the Wild Harvest powdered peanut butter. I don't know what regular PB2 tastes like, but it's probably better than the Wild Harvest, because the Wild Harvest tastes like it isn't made with roasted peanuts, and roasted peanuts have a better flavor. So if you're concerned about ages or whatever, I would buy Wild Harvest, but it just doesn't taste the same as regular peanut butter because it's not roasted. So it's up to you what you want to try and what's your favorite. My favorite is the PB2. I like the flavor. I like the taste. It's comparable to regular peanut butter, and the PB2 chocolate tastes like chocolate, so it's kind of yummy. It's a different flavor for you. But yeah, try the PB2. All you do is you add half as much water as powder. You measure it out, and it's great. It tastes great, and it's a good substitute for peanut butter. It's low in fat. So if you're avoiding chocolate, go ahead and skip the PB2 chocolate and get the regular PB2. If you're looking for something free of ages and you're real hyper concerned about your health, go for the Wild Harvest. But if it's not a concern of yours, if you just like the flavor of real peanuts, go for the PB2. And have a great week, everyone. Next week is the start of the Festival of the Maiden. The Festival of the Maiden and breakfast is next week. Now, I want to say something about that real briefly. Compassion Over Killing decided to hijack my breakfast this year. And they're trying to start people on a vegan diet on breakfast. The one day of the year that you're allowed to eat anything, they want to start you on a vegan diet. So because Compassion Over Killing did this, I felt kind of guilty that I was having my breakfast at that time of year. And so I decided that this year we're going to have a vegan breakfast. So just for Compassion Over Killing's sake, because they decided to start. Now, if they do it every year, I'm not going to go for that. I'm not going to go for them hijacking my breakfast every year. But this year, because I felt moved and felt compassion, now I would eat vegan anyway. I would eat vegan all the time because I'm a vegan now. But I allow other people to eat whatever they want on breakfast. Even if they've been eating vegan all along, they can eat whatever they want on breakfast. But this year, we're going to have a vegan breakfast. So eat vegan on breakfast. And here's a neat little tip I learned. If you have a panini press, you can grill hash browns in a panini press. It's not just for sandwiches. You can grill hash browns in a panini press and they come out like cardboard, but they're really crispy, and you can make them without oil. And another thing you can make it without oil in a panini press is grilled pineapple. That's another thing you can make in a panini press, or grilled fruit. So if you want a panini press, if it's worth it to you to have crispy hash browns and grilled sandwiches, go ahead and get a panini press. If it's too much of an expense for you, it's really not necessary, but it's just something to know about. I'm Sarah Jane Alpha Wolf signing off. Have a terrific week, and we're looking forward to the Festival of the Maiden.